You've reached your destination.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to There and Back podcast with Shavana and Cassidy. Thanks for tuning in today. We are so happy to have you. Today, we are going to give you some big sister advice on how to basically put yourself first, love yourself, etc. But before we do that, we are going to get into our peaks and pits of the week. Cassidy, want to kick it off?
I would love to. My peak is, I already told Shwana this, but I made a dumb girl comment. If you have a boyfriend, you know it's a dumb girl comment of like, I have a headache, and every boyfriend's answer is, you haven't drank enough water today. Like that's just such like the boyfriend response. When you're like, oh, I have a headache. They're like, oh, you didn't drink water. So I have a little bit of a headache and it's like pressure headache. So like if my eyes start to water, if you're watching on YouTube, like I'm good. I'm not sad. Like my eyes just water when I have like a pressure headache. Like I'm not sad. We're good. Like I probably look puffy. It just happens. It's just what happens. I tried like using my gua sha to like depuff my face, icing it. It just didn't work. So I don't know. It's raining today in Florida. So I don't know if maybe I'm like getting a pressure headache from that. I don't. It
That's your
happens.
peak?
No, it's my pit. Did I say
You
the
said
wrong
peak.
thing?
I was like,
Oh, that's my bit.
Got it.
My bad. See, yeah, okay. See, I'm a little out of it. Sorry. Okay, that's my pit. My peak is me and my friends on Friday night. We did a little girls' night downtown. And it was really fun. I've never actually like gone downtown like just the girls.
Really?
Just because downtown's scary. So I like to have like a guy with us. Like it doesn't have to be Connor. I just prefer to have like a guy. Like don't care who it is.
Um,
So it was a couple of us. It was like 7 or 8 of us. We had a lot of fun. Went bar hopping. We ended up being out until like 3:30 in the morning. Didn't think that was gonna happen. I only had literally 2 drinks the whole night. Like I didn't go crazy. We were just out really late. So yeah, if you go on my Instagram, I posted like a cute little dump of the night. We were having fun and like all being each other's paparazzi, which was fun. We were like hyping each other up. So I think that was probably like the best part. It was just like everybody's being each other's hype woman.
you've really
So
never
that
been downtown, just girls before?
absolutely not. Downtown is terrifying. Downtown is so gross.
But you've gone to pub and lived by yourself. But
That's
okay.
totally different. I can run
Eh,
home. I can
I
literally run
guess.
home. And there's also not shootings that live in pub and bounce. There's shootings
I
downtown like
guess.
every other night.
Not every other night. That's
Yes,
dramatic.
look into it. Yes, it is. You just don't see it. It literally is like every third night there's a shooting there, or like a fight or something crazy downtown. Cops are involved. But
But
also just
fight.
I don't go downtown. Like that was maybe my fourth time, fifth time downtown. Like I don't go downtown that often anyway.
I feel like you've been downtown more than I have.
I don't think so. Unless you've only been 3 times, because I've only been like maybe 5. But
Um,
that was my pit and peak. It was really fun. Like so we were just like hyping each other up, being each other's hype gals. A lot of us had boyfriends too. So like when guys would come and like awkwardly talk to us, they'd be like, yeah, totally, thanks. It was also fun because we didn't really do like basement or any of like what I would count as like the UCF downtown bars, like basement shots, saddle. We did like Lamp Bar, Mathers, Wellborn, Robinson Room, like the fancier, like classier bars. So I think that's also why I had more fun is because it wasn't like, let's get a loaded Capri Sun. It was like, I got like a blueberry gimlet. Never had her before. She was tasty. And that's really the only drink I got. And then a guy came up to us and he was like Spanish speaking and he's like, I got 45 White Claws. Do you guys want one? And I was like, oh, I'm not the biggest White Claw person. And he points to his table. It's High Noons. It was High Noons. And I was like, yeah, sure. And it was funny because he went to pop it for me, and I was like, no, no, no. I was like, I'm gonna pop it myself, like, thanks. And I like wiped it with my shirt. And he was like, what? And I was like, I don't want you to like drug it or something. And he was like, you think I'd do that? I was like, I don't know you. You're like, yeah, you could. I was like, you look like a nice person, but you never know. And he was like,
yeah.
wow. He was like, it's scary being a girl. And one of the girls was like, you haven't seen the Barbie movie, obviously. So it was just like that. It was just like funny little things. And that made it all worth it. But it was really fun. I hope we kind of do it more often. Maybe not downtown Orlando, maybe like Lake Eola or like Sanford. But I still fun.
Nice.
What's your pit and peak?
My, well, let's start with peak. My peak is I went to Paris last weekend, just for the weekend.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was really fun. I was literally there for like maybe 30 hours-ish. I got the smallest Airbnb I've ever stayed in. I could literally touch the door and the window if I reached my arms out all the way. But it was actually perfect for like a night. and it was the cheapest thing around. And it was like walking distance from the Eiffel Tower. So like slide. It was cool. I got to go see all like the Paris things. So if you want to see some on my Instagram, you can go check it out. I'm slowly posting more stuff from that trip. Yeah, my peak. My pit is I wore myself down over the weekend. I had a coworker come to an event when they shouldn't have, and I've been sick this weekend. So
Oh, got me sick through the phone. That's what I'm gonna say. She's contagious.
right. Yeah, that's it.
No, I
Now we
don't.
can spread viruses through the phone. Don't talk to anybody, everybody.
Can you
Never
imagine?
mind.
There's probably an article that says that somewhere.
Oh, there's probably people who believe that. Yeah. But
No, guys,
so
I'm just kidding. I
no.
just wanted to nice.
No, I've literally been down with like a fever, haven't been able to get up for 2 days straight now. So feeling better today, crossing my fingers, it's gone. Yeah, that's where we're at.
Good word and good work. Good talk. Perfect. All right, what is your media minute?
My media minute is while I was doing nothing, I watched the Divergent series, which I think I've seen the first one before, but I really never I don't know. I don't know what it is with me in these like movie series that I just never watched them, but I'm catching up to all of them apparently now. So,
What are they streaming on?
HBO, or I guess
Mhm.
it's Max,
Well,
because
yeah, whatever.
I caught up on Hunger Games, Harry Potter, just watched Divergent, which was really good. I enjoyed it. Third one was interesting, and I might rewatch Maze Runner because I've seen the first two, but I haven't seen more than that.
Oh, I think I've only seen the first Maze Runner. I didn't realize there was more than one.
I think there's three.
That was the only series that I like didn't like. Divergent, I did. Hunger Games, I did.
Yeah, I
Maze
got
Runner, I think
in. I watched the first two in theater, but it's been so long. I remember little to nothing about it.
All right, my media minute is Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. We've read ACOTAR series, which is 5 books, Throne of Glass series, which is 7 books, and the novella 8 books, whatever you want to call it. Some people say 7, some people say 8. And then now there's Crescent City because I'm trying to catch up because the third Crescent City comes out in January. And not to be a spoiler, but this might be a spoiler, skip 30 seconds if you want, but like I've heard that they all interlock in this third coming book, like all the series do. And then in Throne of Glass, there's like a quick little bit that like kind of connects to ACOTAR, but it's like not like they don't meet or anything. It's just like it is like a innuendo to ACOTAR. So I just read the first Crescent City though, and it's nothing like ACOTAR Throne of Glass. And so I was just like so sucked in. It's like people are like I'm pretty sure they're like 25 or like 24. I think she had a birthday in the book, whatever. But it's just so fun because like they're in college, they go to Crescent City University. Like it's just like fun. Like they do drugs. Like it's just like not like Throne of Glass or ACOTAR, which I've really been enjoying. So I'm reading the second one now. It's very humbling because I'm like 80 pages in, but it's only like 7%. So that's pretty humbling. But I've really been enjoying it so far. And like I said, it's nothing like the rest, which is I'm really enjoying because it's nice to have the variety because I don't know if I could do 3 more books like all in the same writing style. So yeah,
Gotcha.
you need to start those books soon for
Yep.
January.
Yep. Yep. I do.
All
I'm overwhelmed
right, are you ready to
with
get
books.
into it?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So like Sean already said, it's gonna be like a big sister moment about how self-care, self-love is kind of important. The way you talk to yourself matters. All that good stuff. Taking care of yourself first, etc., etc. However this goes. We
Yep.
haven't really like toned each other's viewpoints or like bullet points, whatever. So it'll be fun because we're kind of gonna like tell each other things.
You get to listen to our
So
discussions.
yeah, like we literally like are hearing these from the other person for the first time. I guess that's a better way to say that.
Mhm.
I told you guys, I'm really foggy brain today. I'm just having a
It's okay.
moment.
You're good. You are
All right, you
okay.
want to start us off?
Sure, I can do that. I think something I've learned a lot in general, and just have implemented recently more, I guess, is the way your thinking can just change everything around you, really. Because that's like the one thing you can control. So if you're like, everything sucks and this day sucks and everyone sucks, then that's what you're going to see. And everybody's going to suck and everything's not going to go your way because that's how you're thinking and that's how you're seeing things. Whereas if you do the other way around, where you're like, okay, maybe that wasn't the best moment or whatever. This is fantastic. Everything's going great. And I'm just gonna turn around this little hitch in the road or whatever. Things are gonna be better, more open and happy and whatever you want to call it. But it really does affect your day because I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're gonna have bad days here and there in general and whatever, but you can change a lot of them by just changing your mindset and not dwelling on that thing that tripped you up in the morning or people are like, oh, you got up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. Well, maybe you did, but you can change, you know.
Have you ever seen that one quote and it's like you had a dollar or like you had like a dollar in pennies, but you lost 2 pennies? Would you dwell on the 2 pennies or would you keep the 98 cents and like go about your day? Like I
Mm-hmm.
love that because like you have, 60 minutes to an hour, we'll say. If like
Mm-hmm.
2 minutes of that hour go bad, are you gonna let the whole 58 minute like rest of the hour go sour or not? I really
Yep.
like that one. My first one kind of like coincides with that too. It's like positive self-talk. I think it's Kendall Jenner did an interview, or like I don't know if it was an interview or maybe it was just like on the Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I don't know. She's in a lot, obviously. And she said she has like a baby picture. I think it was like in an interview. So like her therapist made her put a baby picture of herself up on like a mirror. And she like talks in the mirror and then she's her little baby picture self. So she's not gonna be like, wow, you're so fat, you're so ugly, or like, whatever negative self-talk she wants to say. Cause like she's looking at little her. Like, can you imagine walking up to a 6-year-old and being like, you're so ugly, you're so stupid, you're so fat, whatever again you want to say. So I like those are the two big things that like I really like to think about is like, okay, I have 60 minutes to the hour, I have 24 hours in the day, or whatever else, the dollar, whatever value you want to put on it. Like, am I gonna let the whole hour go sour? Am I gonna spend the next 58 minutes fixing it? So that's my big thing, like positive self-talk. Like, are you gonna sit there and be mad at yourself? Like with me, I go to the gym a lot. And occasionally the workout isn't, perfect. And it's, am I going to be mad at myself for the workout not going perfect, or am I going to be appreciative to myself that I still made it to the workout and maybe next time it'll just be a little better? That's just an example. But
Yeah. No, what you were saying about the penny, I think I've seen something similar where somebody was like, I think it was in a teacher classroom setting, but they were like, okay, you're given 800 and or $86,400 a day, and
yeah, that's how many, yeah, minutes are in a day. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and
I
you
just didn't know
lose
the exact number.
200.
That's what I
Yeah.
was
Okay,
talking
is that what
about.
you were
Yeah.
talking about?
That's
Maybe
what I
we'll
was talking
share
about. I just
that.
didn't remember the number.
Maybe
I
we'll
didn't
share it on
remember the
our
number.
maybe we'll share it on our story or we share it on TikTok or something. But yeah, if you lose those $200 or whatever, yeah, it's the same concept. But I agree, it's
No, that's
really
exactly what I was thinking of. I just didn't remember the number. So I was like, oh, I'll just say a dollar.
I didn't remember the
Because I
number
didn't
either. I
remember.
literally just sat here and did the math.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, okay. My next thing is sometimes, and I think everybody does this, you'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing enough. Oh my gosh, I've done nothing. Oh my gosh, I can't keep up, etc., etc. It's important to stop and just be like, oh, these are all the things I have done. This is all the stuff I've done in this last week. This is all the stuff I've done in my life. And realize, okay, I'm doing something. I have done a lot of things and I have accomplished a lot of things because it's really easy to get caught up in, oh my gosh, like, I mean, our world is just kind of like a go, 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 like environment a lot of times, especially when it comes to a professional like life. So it's important to take that step back and be like, okay, I actually am like I'm being productive. I have done these things, and just because I do take a break doesn't mean I'm slacking or whatever that is that you are making yourself believe.
So I don't know if you've seen the girl on TikTok. I keep like relating this all to social media because I feel like that's like the easiest way to like relate things.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the girl who will be like, I'm gonna let myself rot tonight, like a Friday night rot night? So
No,
have you seen that or no? Okay, so just
no.
came up my For You page like a couple days ago, and I was with my two friends, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I love this. She'll be like, let's have a rot night. So instead of like a Friday night that she's like, oh, like let's go out and party, she'll grab a water, she'll sit on the couch, she'll plop it on the couch for like 6 hours. Which like I personally know that I don't do that. Like I don't let myself rot because I get in my head of like, oh, you could be doing laundry, oh, you could be going on a walk, oh, you whatever, whatever's on the to-do list for the day. So I think that's a good thing of like, it's okay to let yourself rot occasionally because
I
sometimes you kind
wouldn't.
of need that reset. Like sometimes your body is telling you it before you're like brain really like realizes like you're kind of burnt. With like sometimes not getting it all done is also okay because your body knows before your brain. Like sometimes you need that break. Like sometimes you don't have to be go 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 because I know myself and I go until I burn. And sometimes you
And
need to just have a rot night. Not all the time. Because then like I said, I still will let myself have a rot night. I did the other day. And then I ended up being mad at myself because I like laid on the couch for 4 hours. So there's a balance
then
of
you
like
end
you're
up
allowed
like
to have a
me
routine.
and you end up sick all weekend. And then you are forced to have a rot night. You do nothing.
That too.
Yeah. So don't do
But
that either.
so let yourself rot, but also like have maybe a routine of like, okay, I'm gonna watch like binge everybody's binge watching Suits. I'm not, but everybody else and their mother seems to be binge watching Suits. So maybe
Finished
tell
it.
yourself like I'll let myself watch an episode. I'll let myself watch an episode, then I'll go start a load of laundry. Watch another episode, do the dishes. Watch another episode, do the dryer. So you're still like letting yourself relax by having a routine. Because I feel like a lot of people, like I said, they either let themselves go until they burn or they let themselves raw. And then it's the negative self-talk of I'm being boring. I'm being like, I could be doing more. And then you wake up the next day and you're like, my apartment's a mess, my life's a mess, like beating yourself up. Nobody deserves that. So don't do that. Let yourself rot. It's okay.
I feel like calling it rotting is so it's
Oh,
so
I love it.
really, I don't know, it makes it feel like it's so negative. It makes it
Oh,
sound
see, I love
bad.
it. I'm like, let's have a. She calls it. I think like how she literally like titles like when the TikTok first pulls up, it'll be like, let's have a rot night, and I'm like,
Like I
period,
think
girl, let's
it's
have it.
funny and I can like see it on social media and I can see that, but it just in my head it's like I don't know.
My friend group now we like call it that though because I send it to them and they're like, oh yeah, I've been seeing that girl like on TikTok forever, whatever. So now like yesterday, me and Lexi went and got sushi and like the other two friends in our friend group, they're like, yeah, no, we're having a rot night. Like we're rotting. And I was like, enjoy your rot, girl. Like you rot away. I think it's funny.
I think it's funny. I just
I think it
I don't know.
what else would you call it?
A chill night? Relaxing? I don't know. I feel
That's
like
true.
rotting makes me feel like I don't know. Have you ever seen a video of like rotting? I don't know. That's what I think of.
You mean like a fruit rotting?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you do. You just like sit there and like let yourself decompose of like life.
I don't know. I guess.
I think it's so funny. I don't know why. I'll have to
Okay.
send you just like the way she says it too, and like the way she like gets all cuddly about. She like make herself bowl of popcorn, have like a pint of ice cream. I'm like, you go, girl. I want to be her
Also,
friend.
um,
My next one is affirmations. I feel like everybody kind of knows what that is, but if not, I can explain like quickly. It's like the like I am strong, I am beautiful, I'm kind, can do hard things, stuff like that. Like the I am type affirmations. There's other types also, but that's just a quick brief down. My mom has always been like really big. My mom has an episode with us, by the way, if you want to go listen. But my mom's always been really big on affirmations. So I think that I've just like always grown up with it. Like even the twins, when I pick them up from school, I try to have a routine with them like during the school year. When we get in the car, I'm like, I love my brother. And then like they repeat after me, I love my mom. I'm strong. I'm smart. I'm like I share with my friends, like stuff like that. They're 6. That's why they're like silly, cute little ones. But like for us, it can be like maybe before an interview. Like I have pulled out my journal. Well, not my journal, but this is my Daniel Carolyn like little plug for her. And hers has an affirmations part. Today is Sunday, so mine like is a little bit religious, but not crazy. Mine is I'm stronger than I think I am, just like mentally, physically, all of it. Then I put God's got me. Like that's still an affirmation. It doesn't really have to be an I am. And I said, I am wise beyond my years. Like I am smarter than I think I am. Tied. Like basically it's just like hyping myself up. Not just saying I'm smart. I like try to make them like fun. And then I said I am hydrated because I have a headache and I'm not hydrated at all. And I have a headache. So but those are mine. Like they're just simple little you're on YouTube. I haven't finished my day. That's all I've done so far. I'm doing really well. But it's just stuff like that of reminding yourself like sometimes you're not always gonna have your friends right beside you to hype you up. That was actually part of church today. My church is doing something called Songfest. So they play a song and then from that song they like go over what the song like means in biblical terms, I guess you could say. So today they did Anti-Hero by Taylor Swift, which was hilarious because it's Taylor Swift. And in Anti-Hero, it's like, hi, it's me, I'm the problem. And one of the lines is like, oh God, I stand directly something, something, but I never look in the mirror. Like basically saying like she'll never like look the problem in the mirror. She's the problem, but she won't look. And so during church, they were saying like at the end of the day, like God's the one that like gives you your flaws and then your positives. And like at the end of the day, your flaws aren't the enemy. Like your flaws were given to you because there is some benefit to it. You just haven't found that benefit yet. Which I don't know if any, like if you're listening and you're not religious, sorry. But basically it's saying like the flaws don't make you a bad person. The flaws don't neglect like from you being perfect. Like everybody was made for a reason and everybody was made to be like their own self. That's why everybody's like so special and like different. Like unless you're a twin, then sorry, you have somebody that looks like you. But if not, everybody normally doesn't really look like the other. And so I just think that's really important is to like remind yourself, like, I was made on purpose. Like, I'm loved, I'm kind. Like, no matter what your past is, like, your future is what you write. Like, whatever you write is your future. The past is the past. You don't even have to tell a soul about it if you don't want to. But like, what you write up from here on out, like to tomorrow, is going to make you into like the new person that you want to be. Like, you write your own script. This isn't a TV show. Like, you're not the main character. Like, make it into what you want it to be. So that's my little thing with like affirmations. I just think they're really important and they've always been like a big thing for me. Like Aubriella, I feel like since she was like 2 years old, my mom's made her say affirmations. So
Oh,
yeah.
I was trying to figure out
What's
the
your next
line
one?
from Taylor Swift, but it's I'll stare directly at the sun, but never in the mirror.
That's what it is. I thought that's
It
what it
made
is,
me
but I
mad
also
that I couldn't
didn't.
figure it out.
I thought that's what it is. I just didn't want to. I just didn't want to like awkwardly go into singing. So that's why I was like, yeah, whatever that one is. But I know
Yeah.
myself. I'd end up like humming it, and then I'd listen to this episode on Tuesday and like cringe at myself for singing.
Well, I kept trying to say it in my head, and I was like, what? I had to pull it up.
Yeah.
But I agree with you
Yeah,
on the
but that was the song we
affirmations.
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, like,
And I was just gonna say I agree with affirmations. I think because when I first got my journal, I also have one of
doing well
these.
daily.
I still haven't started my second one. I just don't use it every day anymore. But
Oh.
when I first got it, I was like thrown off by the affirmations. I was like, I don't know what to put here.
No, Shona was so bad at it. She was very bad at it.
I was very bad at it, and I've gotten better at it now. I can do it without overthinking it or anything. And I think it's just doing it. And I think I read somewhere that like it doesn't have to be something you believe because every day you say it
Yeah.
and you believe it as time goes on. So, because you're like telling yourself that's true, and you have to
Yeah.
like change
So
your mindset.
yeah, another Danielle Carolyn plug with these journals is in the front, not of the new one, but of the old one. She wanted to show the like neon yellowy greenish one. There is a page that like gives examples of affirmations. And I remember we would like sit down together and do it together. And like I'd be done in like a second. And poor Siobhan was like struggling. So she would just pull from the front. And like she said, like you don't have to believe it. Like here,
Mhm.
I'll pull up a
It
different
can
one.
just be things that
Let's see.
you want to be, and you start saying them every day, and slowly you believe that.
Yeah.
Can
Here's a
help you with
different one. This is from
confidence and
May.
stuff too.
Yeah. This is from May 8th. This was like my transition between the jobs and stuff. So it was like a little stressful, whatever. And it was a Monday. My first affirmation is Mondays are fun. Sometimes you just gotta remind yourself, like it's the beginning of the week, it's gonna be fine. Like some of mine I make kind of silly. Like they don't have to be the most serious thing. Then my next one said I will achieve. Oh,
Sorry, go ahead.
what?
Sorry, go ahead.
My next one is I will achieve great things. And then I only have three because I took up 2 lines for one of them. And the next one says, I can do all things as long as I stand tall with my head up. Like they can literally be like so specific to you, or they can be like Shawana said, like not really like true, but you just say them anyway. But I'm a big affirmation girly. Sometimes before bed, I pray before bed, like not like out loud or anything. It's just like literally like when I'm about to fall asleep. And while I do that, normally like before or after, I'll just be like, I'm strong, I'm kind, like I have 10, like sometimes it's like silly ones, like I have 10 fingers, I have 10 toes, and I'm thankful for that. Like sometimes when you're really maybe have really about like mental health day, it's just like something like I woke up this morning. Like I'm grateful I woke up this morning. Because some days it's just like, wow, like I'm really struggling. And sometimes you just have to dumb it down to the literal basics of like I am thankful I made it through another day.
No, when I started this
So
book, I could only do like one. And there was even the part it says I'm grateful and then it says affirmations and it has 3 lines. So it's like you're supposed to you put 3 things. I could only put one for both of them. And it was just because it felt uncomfortable. Now I can fill all 3. And it's just from doing it and you know, you get better at it. That's what I have to say.
yeah. It
Yeah.
also just like becomes more natural. Another thing I've heard, I don't do it per se, is like some people stare into the mirror as they say their affirmations because like you're staring at yourself and it's like whatever, like the same things I kind of just was like telling you about mine. But it's just like you say it into the mirror because then you're like literally speaking it to yourself and like you see yourself saying it and like it's supposed to also like help. I don't know, haven't done it, but I've heard that's supposed to also help is if you like literally just look in the mirror and I'm like, I am strong, I am beautiful. Some people have, like my mom, if you go on her TikTok, another mom clout, every morning she'll post, she has like her morning drink with like all of her little vitamins and stuff. And she'll also do like she'll like say it's like she'll go live on Instagram or Facebook normally and then she'll just post it to TikTok. And it's normally like the whole time she's just saying like I'm beautiful, I'm strong, and like she like has people that will also like watch the like video and like put like their affirmations down. That was pretty cool. What can I say? I just think that's awesome. Because sometimes, even if you do like maybe need a friend, or you can message us. I'd love to give you some affirmations. Like if you need some assistance, I got you,
Maybe we'll
girl.
post a couple on our socials this week.
All right.
I like that idea.
Yeah. I just think the way that you mentally, like Shauna said like earlier, like the way that you talk to yourself like internally makes all the difference.
Mhm.
Like genuinely, so truly. Because like I could walk into the gym some days, like on my period, let's say, and be like, wow, like I feel so tired. Like, like just that period slump of like, I'm so tired. I don't want to be here, but I know I'm gonna feel better after. And that's like not even just with the gym, that's like with anything. It's like, oh, I like some people when like you're really depressed, you don't want to shower, brush your teeth, whatever. And it's like, you'll feel so much better after that shower. It's just getting yourself into the shower. So sometimes just like that like mental game of like you can do
Yeah.
it, like you're stronger than you think you are. Just like get up. Like you just have
Yeah.
to force yourself up sometimes.
You can even do what I used to do when I was in like high school. When I didn't want to clean my room, I would pull up videos on YouTube of people cleaning their room or doing whatever the task I didn't want to do. And watching them do it in a positive video, fun, whatever they were doing, motivated me. I was like, oh, I can do that like they are. Let me go clean. Let me go make all of this stuff. I want to go clean and then reorganize and all this. I don't know. So you can try that too.
I'm the weirdo. I like made this up in my little head is if I have sneakers on, I can't sit down. Like I'm not one to like relax with sneakers on. So I put my sneakers on and I don't take them off until I'm done. Like I don't have to do this that much anymore. But like back in high school, if I would get like really sad or something, or even sometimes still like when I get right home, I know after a long day of work and everything else, like I just want to plop down and do nothing. So I keep my shoes on until I finish whatever like my little to-do list is or chore is or whatever. Because I know the second I get undressed, I go like once you shower, you're not gonna go back outside and walk a dog. You're not gonna go do the dishes, like you're clean. So
Mhm.
it's all about like that routine, which I feel like is also a big thing for self-talk and everything else. If you have a routine, you wake up at 7, you go on a walk at 8, at 9 you're gonna eat breakfast. Routines matter so much because your body and your brain, without you fully realizing it, crave routine. It's part of human nature. You crave routine. That's why there's 9 to 5s. Like that's why that's such a big thing is routine is good. You might hate it. Like somebody working a 9 to 5 does not love their 9 to 5. I promise you that. Like nobody wants to work that long, but your body craves, like, around 11:30, you're going on a lunch break. So your body craves it and it will actually help your body a lot by having that routine. Routine is good. I love routine. I'm annoyingly routined. Like my friends all know it. They're like, okay, Cassie, like, will this fit? And I'm like, we can make it work. Like they know. But
I
I'm
have like,
appreciative that my friends know that because like they know it's my thing.
my routines are like because my job's so sometimes I work late, sometimes I start late, sometimes I start early, sometimes I end early. It's just all over the place. So it's really hard to have any kind of routine, to be honest. And
I
sometimes I'm
mean,
traveling.
but yeah, with the twins, obviously it was summer. Summer's ending, which is nice. I'll be able to get in like a perfect routine. But with summer, obviously, every day camp was different, work was different, stuff like that. So honestly, it's you can even make your routine the morning up, in my opinion. Like sometimes like the night before, you obviously know what times you're gonna work the night before or whatever. Sometimes it's just about making that routine that way. Like it doesn't have to be a Monday through Friday routine. But like writing down or
Mhm.
knowing your schedule just for the day helps so much because you're not gonna be stressed. It's not gonna be like, oh, I know I need to work out. Oh, I know I need to eat lunch. Oh, I know I need to work. Like write it all down. Sydney Adams on TikTok, Instagram, whatever. She's really big on routines. She posted like a TikTok a while back. I doubt I would find it. She posts a lot in a day. And she calls it dump every night before bed. She'll just take like a blank piece of paper. She doesn't take a whole notebook, so she doesn't like go crazy in her thoughts. and she'll just dump everything she knows she needs to get done the next day. So like if that's film a TikTok or whatever, Sydney Adams' perfect little life looks like, and she writes it all down. Because then that next morning, guess what? It's all written down. So then she can wake up, and while she's making her morning coffee or whatever Sydney Adams does with her life, she writes down the schedule of, okay, how am I going to get this all fit into a day?
Mhm.
So I'm all for a dump. Connor calls my list vacuum list because there was one singular time that all I had to do was vacuum and I wrote it down. He laughed at me for it. So he calls my dump a vacuum list. But sometimes I just need to write down I need to vacuum. It's just the written reminder. Yeah.
Gets it out of your head. I feel I like the to-do list thing. It gets all of the I need to do these things,
Yeah.
and it's like, and now it's out of my head, and I don't have to worry about it
And
anymore.
it's also
I
like
agree.
right next to you. So when you wake up, you turn your alarm off or whatever you naturally wake up, you just have some water, whatever, your perfect right out of bed routine looks like. The paper's right there, all written down. So shout out to Sydney Adams. I feel like I'm throwing a lot of like social media stuff at you, but I feel like that's how people relate most is through social media and through, the influencers we all watch. So yeah, that's all I really have. Do you have anything else?
I am a, this is yeah, this is something I'm still working on and trying to get better at, and it's to stop overthinking things. My brother's really good at this, and he was kind of like, why do you care? Like, I don't know, the way he said it to me, I was like, but what if they don't like the way I said that or whatever? And he was like, doesn't matter. Like, they probably forgot about it. I don't know. The way he was talking about it, I was like, okay. So I've gotten a little bit better at it, I'll be real. But sitting around overthinking things like that it genuinely just kills your happiness and sets you into that negative mindset that I was talking about. That it's one of those things that you can pull yourself out of. You just let it go. So that's something. Just to learn to let it go.
Yeah, I feel like Connor's the same way. He like doesn't overthink anything, like at all. And I'm like the queen of overthinking. Like my friends that I literally hang out with probably 3 or 4 times a week. I'm like, ooh, last night I said that. Like I feel like I shouldn't have said that. Like they hate me. And like until they text me again, I'm like, they hate
Mm-hmm.
me. We're not friends anymore. Like we're not friends. Which is
Mm-hmm.
so silly. So
Yeah.
silly. So I totally agree. I've gotten better about it, but I've also just it's gonna sound bad. I've also just gotten better at like I don't care what anybody else thinks more than even the overthinking. I still overthink it. But then I'm also just like, okay, if they don't want to be my friend because I said that, like that's their own problem. Like it's free, like we're allowed to say whatever we want. As long as you're obviously not offending the person or like something literally inappropriate, then like that's on you, that's bad. But I more overthink like if they're like, ooh, vanilla or chocolate ice cream, they all say vanilla. And I'm like, ooh, I really like chocolate, which is like a literal, like that is my opinion. I like chocolate ice cream. I'm like, oh, maybe I should have just said I like vanilla ice cream. They all do too. Like, no, like you like chocolate ice cream, like who
Yeah.
cares?
Yeah, literally.
If you say something that's like offensive to them, like, yeah, that's on you. Like, fix yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. But it's like little things that
I'll focus on like
overthink.
no, I'll focus on like a little reaction. So I'll be like, oh, I like cake batter ice cream. Somebody will be like, oh. And then I'll fixate on that. Oh, they thought I didn't like, oh my God, why? Like, okay, like that's what I said. Like, move on. If they didn't like it, like you were saying, if they didn't like it, they didn't like it. Like, maybe they didn't realize they reacted a certain way. Like, I don't know.
I think that women also like because of influencers and like just social media, the way that it's obviously like evolved in the past, like I guess almost 15 years, which is crazy. I was gonna say 10 years, but it's almost 20, it's 2023. I'd say something like probably like 2008, 2010 to like now. The way social media has evolved is so many women like pin themselves against each other for some odd reason. Like there's always the newer influencer. It started off with the D'Amelio sisters. Now there's Sydney Adams. There's always been Danielle Carolan, Brooke Mitchell, like people like that. Like for some reason, like instead of hyping up the people and like being like, oh, there's room for more of us, for some reason, like it's not even like the influencers that have, the opinions that are like being mean. It's like these random nobodies that are like, well, Danielle's blonde and Brooke's brunette, they're pretty ugly. And it's like they're not comparable. Like they're not the same girl. Like they might be friends, but like there's no it's just like the craziness of like the world is like why are women compared so much, which is also why I think guys don't overthink as much because guys really aren't compared in that sense to the way that like women are. Like women, I feel like are so like even like sororities, like Rush. Right now it's
Oh my
Bama Rush.
God.
Everywhere is doing Rush, obviously. But like Bama Rush is a huge thing. They have the HBO documentary, Max documentary, whatever. And it blew up last year. Kylan, who's in Zeta. This year now there's like Bella Grace and Morgan who are having all the drama. Like there's always gonna be drama around it. But for some reason, like, why are we beating them up? Like the whole point, I was never in a sorority, so I guess Shawana could like really be the one to say this. But like to me, what a sorority's always been is like a sisterhood and like an extra group of friends that will support you through like those next 4 years of your life. Like that is the actual
Mhm.
apart, and like it's obviously like, occasionally go to the
It's
parties, occasionally do the fun things.
it's
But it's
being
supposed
a
to be
part
like,
of a group, yeah,
yeah,
and
it's
like
like the
having
sisterhood. Like that's supposed to be the big part. And for some reason, everybody in the world is like pinning these poor girls that are rushing in Alabama, which yes, you're voluntarily putting these things on a TikTok. Like, why are we comparing random girls that are 18? Like they're literally fresh out of like high school.
Mhm.
So it's just crazy. So that's my big sister little moment right here is don't let social media or anything break you down.
Yeah.
Don't look at a girl in a bathing suit and be like, wow, I wish I had that body. Because you know what? I bet if you have maybe bigger boobs than her, I bet she wants your boob. Like, you might be like, oh, I love her size. Maybe she wants your size. Like, you never know
Mhm.
what like they might also think. And you always have to remember is like the grass is always greener on the other side.
Yep.
But also, people on social media are only posting a highlight reel. Like that was the whole point of social media is a highlight reel. There are other people that occasionally get vulnerable, and I appreciate those people so much when they occasionally like come up on my Instagram or TikTok. Excuse me. By the end of the day, majority of the time, it's just the peaks of their life. There's no pits. Like the pits aren't talked about as often.
Right.
So don't be mean to yourself. Like don't beat yourself up just because one girl in Alabama has on $16,000 worth of bracelets and you're wearing like a hair tie. Like who cares? That's fine.
Yeah.
So
Comparison's so easy to get stuck in. Yeah. And if you really need to get away from it because you're really stuck in it, delete the social media apps or put on some kind of stop limit, put your phone in a box, have your friend hold your phone for like certain hours of the day. I don't know, go sit in your backyard and leave your phone inside. Something like that.
I know I talked about it. I feel like this was probably like a month or two ago. I deleted TikTok for like a week or some point,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't because of comparison. It was like a weird little silly thing. We talked about it on here in one of the episodes. But I did happen to like download it again because I kind of fell out of the loop, which is totally my own fault. Like nobody like that's my own thing. But I downloaded it and it's crazy now because like viewing it and doing everything is just so like I view it so different than I did prior to deleting the app. Like I would be the one to be like, oh wow, like Livy Dune looks so good in that bathing suit. If I put it on, look like a whale or like whatever negative self-talk I want to tell myself. And now when I like view it, I'm like, oh look how cute like I don't know, like Alex Earl is on Cancun or wherever she is today. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I like deleting the app truly did. And I'm also not on it nearly as much as I was.
Well, I
Because
think
social
that's
media
part of
also is like it's such a big time piece. It steals so
it
much of your
is.
time in a day.
It is. I think that's part of why people are so mean in comments too. It's just they get stuck in this comparison loop, and then instead of figuring it out on their own, they take it out on the person who literally has nothing to do with it, and they just are like, "Well, I'm not you, so you suck now." And then they're really mean, and that's
Mhm.
such an awful way to deal with it. So if you ever feel the need to do that and like be rude to like somebody on social media, stop, put the phone
Yeah,
down
don't be that
and
person.
reflect because I think that's what you need to do.
Agreed. All right,
All
now I'm
right.
actually done. Unless you have something else to say that I'll probably
I
just
think
ricochet
that's
off
it.
of also.
I think that's all. But we hope we
Okay.
helped you. If we post the affirmations, you should share a couple of yours in the comments. You can also share your peek and pick pit of the week. We'd love to hear. Like I said, social media is about all the peaks, and if that's what you want to share, that's great too. But if you want to share a pit from time to time, I mean, we're here to hear it. We share ours.
Yeah, your heroes are ours weekly. Even if there's something as silly as they stub my toe or I have a cold, we tell you
Yep.
everything. Thank you guys for listening, though. If you're watching on YouTube, follow, like, subscribe. If you're on TikTok, Instagram, we don't post as much on TikTok. We haven't really been able to be together, so we can't make you guys like
Working
in-person
on it.
TikTok. Yeah, we'll get there. We haven't really been together in person with time to like record and put time towards this. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for listening to another week. We'll link below my mom's episode because I feel like that was kind of similar to this one. It was more just like adulthood than like girlhood, but like womanhood more than girlhood, whatever.
Yeah.
But
And I'll put it in the cards on the YouTube video. So if you want to see it there.
perfect. But thank you guys for listening. Follow us on Instagram at thereandback.pod. We do post on there like 2 to 3 times a week. Normally post to the story a little bit. And yeah, thank you guys for being here. We love you so much. Leave a
Yep.
review if you're feeling crazy.
Be
But
nice.
yeah, I'll leave to tell them that. I love criticism. Be a hater. If you listen to this whole episode and you leave us a bad review, like just go to go to church. Take yourself to church. Like if this whole episode you still somehow are like, dude, these girls suck. Like
Like I said,
you missed
stop,
the
drop,
whole.
reflect.
It's just like
Yeah.
so yeah. If you listen to this whole episode, you still have something negative to say. I think you might need to re-listen. But seriously, thank you guys for being here. We love you. We will see you next Tuesday.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.